Hi, everyone. Thank you. My name is Ed Omlin. I'm a business development manager with Amazon. And I want to talk to you today about test drives, which is the ability for you to put your IP along with Alfresco on the web and drive your customers to it so that you can, in essence, have a silent salesperson on the internet. So what do customers need to do? We want them to try and explore new software that helps them change their business. We want them to basically be able to access this training for education, POC, training, those types of things. Test solutions. And all of this basically leads to creating a manner which your customer can get involved with your software at a very, very rapid clip in a self-service way that allows your sales teams to function at a higher level and to move forward from a straight product sale to developing a true solution for those customers. Now, what do you guys as partners need to do? You want to close deals faster, because closing deals faster equates to more money. You want to cut that evaluation time, providing access for training and education. We're going to keep coming back to training and education because that's an ongoing action that you can use the test drives for. And you want to make sure that your customers have friction-free delivery and the capability to understand your product line. So all of these things kind of come together with test drives. And for context, people ask, what is the test drive? The test drive is, in essence, a mini lab. You are taking your software, Alfresco software, and bundling it up in a web deliverable stack. And that stack is the software, the compute, the networking, the storage, the database that takes to run that software for your customer. And the way we envision this happening is it's self-service on the web. It gets deployed automatically. Your customer gets to play for it for a very limited duration of time, which gets them used to what you've designed. So, I am the cloud guy. You're never going to get away from a cloud guy until he's got at least one cloud on the screen. What this does inside the sales process, you heard the gentleman from Ixis yesterday talk about a solution sale. In essence, that's what we're helping you do. Because by putting your software out there, by giving your customer access to it early in the sales cycle, it takes away the baseline questions that slow up your salespeople. And so what we want to happen is we want the customer to gain a frame of reference to what your software can do for them. Now, if they have that frame of reference, they're going to come to you with their idea of what your software should do for them, which puts your salesperson in a very strong position because they understand the problem and the reference point of the customer. And that's, if you integrate this into your sales and marketing motion, that's what you can do with a test drive. In essence, you can get a lot more information by letting the customer play with the software early, understand how it's going to affect their business. Now, we talk about self-service deployments. The reality is, we talk about self-service. Self-service means it's sitting ready and waiting. It doesn't mean that it's so easy, you have a single button and you push and it make it happen, because it's you guys who help them make that deployment happen. Now, we can show you the scripting, and in fact, we're going to go in and we're going to do a demo of that today. It's called CloudFormation. That's essentially writing a script that will automatically launch the compute, the software, the database, the storage, and the network. That all becomes part of your value add. And so when we say self-service, that self-service doesn't cut away from anything that you do as a company. It actually makes it easier for your customer to use you as a company. So when you hear self-service, and anyone from Amazon will always use the term self-service, think of it that way. You're making it easier for your customer to consume your product. So what's really happening here? You launch the stack. The stack should be exactly what you would do if you were doing the big demo. If you're up on stage and you're here at re:Invent, where we're going to be next week in Las Vegas, and you get an opportunity to show your customer the thing that you do the best. And if you had the time to actually architect that in the best possible manner, get feedback from the folks at Alfresco, get feedback from the folks at Amazon, so that this was perfect every single time, that's what we're doing. And we can do it in a matter of a few minutes. Because what we've got is we've got all of your information, we've got a template for what you want to design. And we run it and we test it and we play with it. You do it, Alfresco does it, we do it. And what happens then is that customer experience is extremely positive because it's exactly what we've all engineered. We've taken the best minds of all of us, put it together to deliver that customer a very positive experience with what your product does. And we all have a vested interest in making this happen. You are obviously selling a product, Alfresco is obviously selling a product, and we're providing the service for which all of those products run. So all of us have a vested interest in making sure that your demonstration, i.e. your keynote speech, goes absolutely perfectly. So, CloudFormation services, we'll talk a little bit about that. This is the magic that makes everything happen. In essence, it's just JSON scripting that turns on a CloudFormation stack, which is a template. Then this is your application, database, networking, all of those types of things. It's all set up. It's pre-populated. That's why this becomes very, very easy for you to show the product or the demo of the product to your customer. And I'm coming back to this point, I realize, a lot, but I want to make sure you take that point away that, in essence, we have pre-populated everything. It is done. Once the customer pushes the button, it happens, and it happens perfectly every single time. So, I got to stay close to the computer here. How does it look from a customer perspective? So you go to amazon.com/test drive, Alfresco, CMS. Then it populates to the Alfresco site on the Amazon site, and then you're then pushed to the Alfresco page. After you go through the welcome registration, we have a logic system built in, and this I want to talk a little bit about. So we have a concept of a red list and a green list. Green list would be, say, people from your domain, alfresco.com, amazon.com, people you want to have unfettered access at any point in time. Red list would be those domains that you designate you want never to have access. So a main competitor, those types of things. And then everything in the middle then goes through a decision-making criteria to whether it's going to happen or not. And then what happens, once you say yes, the user will get an email and then goes to the launcher page. We're going to take a look at all of this here in screenshot. And then the stack is launched. And again, we talk about network, compute, storage, and all of this happens in what's called a VPC. And a VPC, from just so we understand the vocabulary, is a private network as part of our network. And essentially what it is non-addressable IPs that are controlled by you. So there's no outside access. There's only access directly through the portal that you've set up. So, principles. Whoever does the work will receive the rewards. We're very much a self-service, make-it-happen kind of company, and we're making the offer to you as Alfresco partners, and we want you to join our partner network. And by doing so, we're going to give you the opportunity to go build these test drives, get the first mover advantage, and get those deployments out there. Now, we truly believe in the crawl, walk, run. This program is less than a year old. We launched it last year. We launched with one partner and a few partner test drives. We saw the response. We've had over 3,000 test drives launched. We've seen it actually drive deployment time down into multiple weeks. And this is, let's just say it's very high-end software from a certain provider out of California. And we saw deployment times going from test drive to AWS-based deployment in under 2 weeks. And that is, in essence, what we're trying to do for everyone in this room. Amplification engine. This is one of the things I like to really talk about. This is build once, fire a lot. Once you do the effort, put the effort in, it's a one-time effort, and it creates an annuity stream. Because what we're doing is leaving it out there on the web. It is functioning globally. Anyone on the web can try this out unless you've red listed them. And what it does for you is it gives you instant access on two very major web properties, i.e. alfresco.com and amazon.com, to advertise that. And we're going to talk about this in concept of the marketing scheme a little bit later, because it should be integrated into what you're doing to market your services and your business. So, we talked a little bit about the implicit endorsement. Because you're going to be appearing on the AWS website, and the Alfresco website, you get an implicit endorsement of your services and your products. We're going to direct users to your site because your name and your logo are going to be on there. So it's going to drive more awareness for your organizations. Alfresco will register the lead once it comes in and deliver it to you. If it's not red listed or green listed, you're going to make the decision on if you're going to allow that individual to try out your software. And then you could follow up. These become great sales leads. Think about if you could, as a salesperson, could go out and talk to a customer and you knew that they had played with your software for 5 or 6 hours. That's in essence what we get to do now. So think about the quality of lead that your salesperson is going to work with, because your customer now, or your opportunity, has already played with the software. They understand the basics of what they're doing. And then the last thing, what we want is we want you to join the APN and start moving through the ranks there, whether you're a consulting partner, i.e. an SI, or an ISV, a technology partner. We want you to join the program so that we can start communicating with you, because some of the things we want to do is help you with the architectural capabilities. We want to work with you with regard to marketing and go-to-market capabilities, those types of things. So this fits into an overall package from the Amazon perspective, but it also works with the Alfresco team. Process overview. So first thing you have to decide, do you want to do this? Is this a marketing program that you want to undertake? Secondly, once you make the decision that you do want to do this, creating the lab manual and documentation. And there's a video that goes along with this. And that's the business. It's making the decision that you want to invest the hours, because the cost is fairly minimal. It's basically the cost of the network that you're setting up and the time of your developers to deploy that. Now, from a technological perspective, you just set up an AWS environment. You need to create the CloudFormation template. And we've got lots of help to do that. We've got documentation guides, we've got implementation guides, and then you guys also get the help of Luis, who's done this many, many times. We're going to need you to provide that video, so i.e. doing a video that talks to the customer about what they're about to see, how it's going to work for them, those types of things, because that's setting the stage. Think of this somewhere between education and advertisement. 2 to 5 minute video, it's fairly simple to do. What's going to be really important is the lab manual. And that idea is giving that customer a step-by-step guide for every click of the mouse that they need to do to launch that lab for them. And in essence, this is where you're going to really walk that person through a very granular how-to document. So from my perspective, that's probably the most important piece of content other than the CloudFormation script that you're going to create. And then Alfresco will publish the lab. And during that process, they're going to test it, and we're going to test it. And our best suggestion for you is, once your team has built out that lab, what we want is to have your team put fresh eyes on it and have someone walk through and do that lab on their own, internal to your organization. And then that's the first level of feedback. Then Alfresco will take a look at it, and AWS will take a look at it and provide you levels of feedback. One of the things that it's core to our being is fast iteration. So we will provide you the feedback. We want you to have the best solution possible, because again, when you sell a deal, we sell a deal too, and we want everyone to win. And so we're looking to get the best possible implementation possible. Marketing. This is something that I think when people take a look at the test drive capability, they think if they're getting up online that they've done their job. And this is something I want to really, really push, because we talked about the solution sale yesterday. The marketing is the front end of the solution sale. And what we want to do is we want to drive people to the test drive as a way to prove out the capability of your software, of your solution, plus Alfresco, plus Amazon. And so one of the things that I really like is to have someone understand what they're going to do with this when they come into the test drive. What does your normal marketing cycle look like? Do you do webinars? Do you do executive breakfasts? Do you do any of these things? How do you use this? If you're doing executive breakfast, maybe doing a demo, or maybe doing a ride-along with your architects and that executive, walking them through how this looks and how it feels so that they understand it. And the point I'm really trying to drive home here is that we need you to keep driving the customer back to the test drive, because the test drive acts as the baseline set for that sales cycle. So think of it that way. Don't think of it as a one-time, I've created, I put it online and I'm walking away from it. It's much like using search engine optimization. You put a website up on the web and what happens? Well, some people will come to it, but then it falls down. You constantly optimize to get more and more people to that site because that's your front door. In essence, this is the same thing. You want to keep using this as a tool to keep getting your potential customers involved with your software. Now, this is what the page looks like. So you see kind of the 4 software vendors that are engaged with us currently, and their partners are building solutions. So here you see Alfresco solution, zSign, Ixis. All of these folks have test drives up and running right now. And you can go to this website, it's live, it works right now, and you can launch those test drives. So this is what it looks like from the customer perspective. This is the Alfresco test drive. I want you to notice over here, register for free. That's important because that's where your lead generation is going to come from. That's how you're going to get to talk to your clients. And then a quick blurb that explains what the test drive is about. Once you sign up, you get this email. And this email basically gives you the link to log in, which is now passed through the verification process. So if it's green list, this is automatic. And if it's anything but green or anything but red list, then eyes go on it and a decision is made. So you set up your password, very simple stuff, and then you log into that test drive. Now once you log in, you see this page. Now this is what every customer sees, no matter what the test drive is. There's a few things. Obviously it's branded, but you have the lab manual right here, and then the video right here. This is important for a couple of things. You want that customer to download the lab manual and to hit the launch button. Once that launch happens, you get a nice thank you, and then you get this email, which tells you that your servers are ready to go in about 15 minutes. This is the time you want your customer watching the video, reading the lab manual, those sorts of things, getting themselves ready for when that lab comes online. And then you essentially just log on. And there we are. So that was what the customer experience is. Very simple, very easy to follow. I can do it. I'm the marketing guy. So that's saying something. So I took this lab just a while ago, and it becomes very, very easy for me to get online, get involved with Alfresco software. Now, I told you this was important. We're going to come back to this. All of these folks have labs right now, right online. But this is what the client sees. This is what they produce. This is all information that's shipped to you. So you understand who your customer is, what they're doing, when they're doing it, and now you've created that compelling event. They're going to have a few hours to play with that lab. You now have a very hot lead because you know 8 hours ago, 10 hours ago, 24 hours ago that this person was interacting with your software. And they spent enough time that they probably have a fairly good knowledge base about what that software is. So that becomes the hot lead for your organization. And just think about what your closing ratio is for your existing sales cycles. So if you close 1 in every 10 deals, and if you do a test drive, does that close 3 in 10 deals? And how does that affect your bottom line? And that's really what we're trying to help you do here, is create more opportunity for you to get customers involved with your software. Now, I think it's time for Luis to come up and do a quick test drive for us.
All right. Whoa. Okay, I should watch where I'm going. Raise your hand if you're a consulting partner, consulting organization. Raise your hand. Okay. So the objective here is to make, just for the sake of clarity, I want to make, the objective here is to allow anybody who's built a solution that they want to sell to Alfresco's customers, right, to publish it on Amazon.com. Who wouldn't want to get published on Amazon.com? Come on, seriously, right? So publish it on Amazon.com and also publish it on Alfresco.com, and we, Alfresco, will partner with you and send you the leads so that you know who's trying your solution, et cetera, right? So that's kind of the primary objective. So let's take a look at test drive here so that you understand a little bit more about what it looks like from the end user experience. So a user visits testdrive.alfresco.com, or you can also go to aws.amazon.com/test drive, and you'll see that beautiful Alfresco flower mark there, right? But anyway, So you go to visit the website, and you're going to go ahead and sign in. So in this case, I already have an account, so I'm not going to register from scratch, right? And I can't type left with one hand, but I'll try. Let's see. All right, watch me enter my password wrong. So we'll do that, and my password. And I hope I typed it in right. Okay. So I've logged in, and I see a wide variety of solutions. Now, if you're a customer, you may want to go to this website right now and check out what my partners have built, right? But what we're seeing here are 6 solutions of just different types of solutions: electronic signature, web experience management, digital media annotations from Ixus, for example, here. So we can go ahead and just take a look at any of these solutions and try them now. This is the same landing page that you saw on the screenshot. Now this is, well, sometimes you're supposed to see it. Come on. There we go, it's connecting. Sorry, the Wi-Fi, I'm sure you've experienced, is not exactly super reliable. So, how's everybody doing? All right. All right, great. So this is the landing page. As noted before, you have a video, you have the lab manual. The lab manual is very important. That's that document that you download that instructs you step by step as to how to use this demonstration, okay? Let's pretend that I downloaded it. All I want to do right now is just show you how easy it is to launch your solution. So I press the launch button, and now Alfresco is going to start communicating with Amazon, and it's going to start setting up and replicating an environment for you. So it's going to just create a brand new server for you. It's going to take about 10 minutes or so for the environment to be launched. You will get an email once the environment is up and running. There's also a status report at the bottom of this page that lets you know what the system is doing. So you can see here, I'm creating a server right now, and it's just going to create the server, the firewall rules. For us non-technical people, well, actually I'm technical, but for non-technical people, this just lets them know that something is happening, right? And then once the environment is ready, they will get a report and that email back giving them a login to their server. So let's go ahead and visit a lab that has already been launched, okay? So you can, by the way, you can view 10 demos at the same time if you'd like, okay? So if I return back to the home page, anytime now. Did I click? There we go.
There you go.
All right. So let's go back here, and if I go in here to the Alfresco standard Alfresco 1 demo, what we'll see is that the environment has already been launched, and it will have that information, the connection details that I need in order to access the server. So it takes a few moments for it to load up. And so right here are the instructions, right? So I can click on that link right there, and if I had the documentation, the manual, right next to me, it will walk me step by step as to what it is that I need to do, okay? So at this point, it becomes a standard Alfresco installation, and I do whatever it is that I would normally do with Alfresco. Now, for those of you who are partners of ours and want to publish solutions, we're currently limiting the trials to about 4 hours. So we want people to experience Alfresco in a shorter period of time and just make sure that they're familiar, make sure that they experience the ease of use of the product, right, and your solution, right? So we're limiting to 4 hours for now, but if you have a solution that you think warrants a longer trial, just let us know, okay? And we will happily work with you on that front. Gosh, this Wi-Fi really is bad. I say Wi-Fi, but when you have like 500 people using the internet at the same time, I guess that could cause a problem, couldn't it? So in any case, you'll get the login screen, etc. So I just want to show you what the web experience looks like, and I invite you to go to testdrive.alfresco.com and try it for yourselves. In the interest of time, I'm just going to cut it right here, and so we can cut over to the rest of your presentation.
Okay, the summary of the program. We're almost done. You guys can ask questions in a second. Faster. At Amazon, I think if you were here in Luis's discussion earlier today, we move really fast. We had 160 releases and or launches last year. It's about 3 per week. What we're trying to do is enable you to move just as fast, to take more land, to show more customers your capabilities. Easier. You saw how quick it was and how easy it was. There's nothing super difficult about doing that. The magic is in the back end, and we can help you with that. We've got documentation to help you with that. We've got Luis, we've got our architects. We've got people in place to help you build that solution for your customer. Better. Simply, you get to control with a high level of consistency what your customer sees. So gone are the days of hoping that the demo is going to work, hoping that the server is up, hoping that no one tinkered with it. The customer gets the A version every single time. And it's very, very important because we want the customers to have the best possible experience with all of our solutions. So next step, we want to recruit you as a partner. There's no shame in that. I want you on the platform, I want you using it, and I want to begin the communication cycle with you. We want to have conversations around using cloud infrastructure to add value to your solutions, to helping those customers. We want to help you define the quote killer demo. Luis is here, he's done this. We've got a team that's in place to help you produce that demo so that your software shines. We want to build that manual and then create the video. Fairly simple process. We've got a step-by-step guide that will walk you through all of it. So, in the technical, install the ISV software, your software, configure it, create the AMI. In essence, create an AMI, by the way, is an Amazon machine image. And that's what is essentially what you're going to be creating. You're going to be creating that image with the A copy. And then every time we produce that for a customer for that demo, reproduces that A copy. So for every single time, you're going to get the same image. Build the template. So the template loads the rest of it, whether it needs a database, whether it needs the networking, firewalling, load balancing, whatever your solution requires, the template is there to be able to put all of those things together. Engage Alfresco, add the lab, and you're good to go. So from a marketing, one of the things we want you to do is think of this as a product launch. Put out web releases, do webinars, mailings to your customers, mailings to prospects. Use this as the marketing tool that we've created together now. Drive customers to it, get them used to using your software. Here's this very simple to-do list. Join the APN Partner Program. Takes about 5 minutes. It's free. Decide you're going to do the test lab. And by the way, once you join the Amazon Partner Network, we're just going to start talking with you. Doesn't require you to do anything. But we want you to build the test drive lab. We want you to assemble the team. And what we're going to ask is that you assemble, in essence, a core SWAT team. So the business people, they're going to be making the decisions on what the demo is going to be, how you're going to show it to the customers. The technical team that's going to build it and then test it and work with the Alfresco and the Amazon teams to further that testing. And then finally, the marketing individuals that you're going to label as being your cloud responsible individuals, the ones that are going to try and get the message out about the solution that you've built on AWS. Then build the test drive, quite simply, and then you're off and running. And then let Luis know. And that way he can work and act as an interface and put all of our companies together so that we make sure that that demo is the best it can be for your customers. And then you can just email us at AWS testdrive at amazon.com. If you have any further questions, here's a quick resource guide for you. So the owner of Test Drives is Bruce Burns. He sits about 25 feet away from me when I'm in Seattle. Then the Alfresco owner is Luis. And then myself, I'm in partner business development. And then for anyone that lives in Europe, we have Jacob Hun, who is my counterpart here in Europe. And then registration. So that is how to sign up as an Amazon partner. And okay, so it's a long URL. You got me there. Go to aws.amazon.com and just type in partner sign up or technology partner in the search bar, and it'll bring that link up. It's very easy. Now, I think we have a few minutes left for time, correct? So I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys might have. Please just raise your hand and let me know who you are, and we'll answer your questions the best we can.
So, questions? Anyone? Come on, you must have a solution. You must be interested. Okay, who's going to sign up to become an AWS partner? Raise your hand, please. Just, you're going to do it. The answer is it's going to be done. It's free. It takes 5 minutes. You can do it right now. You can do it on my iPad. So we're going to do that right now. Okay, but any questions, guys? And by the way, Jacob, if you don't mind standing up for a moment, Jacob is, the guy that Ed just referenced. So he's here in Europe, based out of Luxembourg, and he can help you guys as SI partners, et cetera, get set up on the Amazon Partner Network or the AWS Partner Network. Questions? Do you have one?
By the way, we have laptops available, so if you want to sign up as a partner right now, we can sit in the back row and we can do that.
Let's sign up right now. Okay.
I'm wondering the 4 hours, how does it work?
So the system, as soon as it launches the demo, it will send you an email telling you your demo's up and running, and it'll give you the link, right? And so you can start using the software, and after the expiration time, which in this case happens to be 4 hours, but it's configurable, right? It will terminate the server and send you an email saying, thank you for trying it. By the way, if maybe you forgot about it or something like that, you can launch it a few more times, okay? So that's generally how it works. But we'll work with you, is the point. You tell me, my software, I really want it to run for a day, or 2 days, or a week. We can work with you. It just, we pay the bill, we pay the Amazon bill, right? So we collaborate with Amazon, and it can be expensive to run a server for a long time. So we want to make sure that we're doing it right? And we're doing it for the right reasons.
Because it might take some time to make some arrangements with clients or whatever. So.
Yeah, certainly. And so my suggestion is that if you have a solution that you want to publish, right, try to focus on speed and agility. Try to get to a dialogue with the customer quickly. Right? And that's why the 4 hours is, in a sense, it's a good thing, because we let you know as soon as it's launched. So Alfresco will send you an email as a partner telling you, Ed just launched your trial, right? And so you're going to get that email, and what you should do is respond as quickly as possible, so that you can get into that conversation and say, hello, Mr. Customer, why, how may I help you, right? I understand you just launched the demo. We're here to serve. Right? And that way you get into a lot, that dialogue and conversation. The customer may very well want a 2-week demo, right? And at that point, we can work with you on provisioning a long duration demo of your solution for them. So everything is on the table, okay? So there are no hard rules, only what is right for you as a partner and for the customer and the relationship in general, okay? Let's keep that in mind, right?
How do you deploy, like your customization? Does it have to be an AMP, or can it be a custom WAR as well?
It can be, yeah. So how do you deploy your customizations, right? So many of you, of course, are customizing Alfresco. So in the simplest way is just create an AMI. You create an instance, right? And then you install your software, and then you tell Amazon, create an image out of this, right? And that's probably the easiest way to do it. And once you do that, that's it. And in fact, almost all the trials over there that we showed you before, the 6 that are currently launched, they're all AMIs. So, and there's nothing special in there. So they have custom amps that have been deployed in some cases. Some cases it's custom configured by hand. But once you've done it, you're ready to go. Now, right now, we want to have as many good solutions out there, and so I'm not being as selective as I might be, say, in 6 months. I want to have good solutions, but I also don't want to make the bar so high that I keep you from being successful and keep this program from being successful. But in the future, I want to focus on quality. And I think the quality comes from not just the demo itself, but how you install and configure and sell your software, and also the trial experience, and so forth. But we'll work with you. I'm not going to just call you one day and say your demo sucks. Stop. I'm going to stop. I'm going to unpublish it. I'm not going to do that to you. So it's all about a relationship. And for once, not for once, but we really want to partner here. And don't forget, it's a 3-way relationship. It's you, it's me. It's actually 4-way. It's you, me, AWS, and the customer. All right? Other questions? Come on, we got time. So if you guys want to talk to Ed, to Jacob, me, we're here. Okay?
And just to reiterate, we're here. The idea of a 4-way relationship is exactly what we want to get out in the market. We want you to be successful. We want the customer to get an extreme amount of value from Alfresco and the customizations and the software that you produce. So if you have any questions, if you want to do this, if you're not sure and you want to have the conversation, please seek one of us out. We're happy to have the conversation, and we're happy to help you because we see our success through you. And you allow us to serve that customer better. So with that in mind, please feel free to ask us any questions privately if you so choose. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody.